Okay, so it's 6:02-ish. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Dwight had an emergency, a real emergency. He's going to try to join us as soon as he can. So I'm going to cover number one, additions. I'm going to take my mask off if nobody minds. I'm kind of out in the middle. Additions or deletions to the agenda. Mark or Laura, you have anything?
No.
Okay. Who's in the middle above Laura? Oh, Susan. Mark, I just got the RFP I guess it came in around lunchtime. I never got back to the office till 3:30, and I was going to try to do it here before the meeting, and my battery died. Are we okay if we put that off and discuss that at the next meeting?
I haven't started reading them, so yeah.
Okay, so that's the only thing. Under new business, I'm going to pull that.
Yep.
Okay, but folks, Mark sent them all out. He sent out a nice form. Is there any way to send that form as not a PDF so I can just do it online?
Yeah, there is. If this meeting ends early enough, I will try to do that tonight.
Okay, because then I may try to do it watching Monday Night Football.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy. If there's no other, oh, and then just under the consent agenda, well, we'll cover that under the consent agenda. If there's no other additions or deletions to the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. We have under old business or new business, I don't care. We have financial review.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you.
And we also, we have it down, executive session if needed. We do need an executive session to discuss a personnel issue. So with nothing else, I'm going to jump over to members of the public. Oh, Kate Rideout, you're here too. Kate, I don't know if you heard, we're putting off discussion on the RFP because we just got them late.
That sounds good. One of mine is like 100 pages, so that sounds wonderful.
Okay, well, you're not going to do yours during Monday Night Football, I guarantee it.
There's a soccer match tonight?
Is that where they use their hands and catch the ball and run around? I don't see any public. Do we have any public?
Yes. Dana?
Oh, Dana, I'm sorry. Dana, do you have anything?
No, sir, I'm just here to listen.
Oh, don't say sir. That really scares me.
Okay.
If there's no public, I'm going to skip over to the consent agenda, which is, we did do the minutes of September 20th, so it's just October 4th and October 18th. If you remember at the last meeting, we didn't have the minutes from October 4th. So I'll any corrections anybody noticed would like to, anything they want to discuss in it? If not, we will accept the minutes, and I have no correspondence under consent, so we will move on to members of the staff, of which I see quite a few. Is there anybody from the staff that like this? Sue Newman's like raising her hand and jumping up and down. Go ahead, Sue.
Hi. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we're in the middle of the International Baccalaureate self-study year. And as such, there are some questions for the board to answer. And so Matt and I are going to create a short form questions about IB and how well we've presented IB to the board. I imagine most of it will be for people who are associated with the Dover School. And we're going to try and get that to you within the next 48 hours. And if you can just fill that out as quickly as possible and get it back to us, it would be greatly appreciated.
Hey, Sue, if you would do me a favor, we have sitting over there, and the cameraman will have to move it, we have a new board member from Wardsboro, so he may not be up to speed on what we're doing. Could you give the Reader's Digest version in paperback?
Yes. Every fourth year after you're authorized as an IB World School, except 5 years for the initial authorization, since the initial authorization for us. We do an in-depth self-study, which gives us time to look at our program, reflect on our accomplishments, on areas that we need to improve. And we'd like to get input from teachers, students, board members, community members, and it's the form we're going to send has 3 descriptors. Either we are developed, developing, or highly developed the attributes or the standards of IB. So there'll just be a few questions for the board.
Very good. Thank you, Sue, I appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
And get them to us and we can respond to that, and then we can also discuss it, at the next meeting if you need to do anything else with us on that.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, we appreciate your hard work on that. Any other staff? Oops. See anything? Okay, I'm gonna move on then to, well, look at that, we skipped over new business, it's 7:20 already. School updates during COVID. Matt and Tammy, you got any good updates for us?
Go, Tammy.
Go, Tammy.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Is my microphone working properly? Excellent.
Yes.
As far as COVID updates, really, since the last meeting, just to update you, we will not be doing surveillance testing within the schools. The school nurses just felt like there was too many other initiatives happening at this time with the Test to Stay program, which Bill informed us last week would begin starting in December, it sounded like, once we got things settled and ready to go. We're still waiting on the state for some testing kits and some other things to get underway. And as you all know, River Valleys is still, we are still without a school nurse.
Thank you, Tammy. Matt, you got nothing to add?
Richard,
Go ahead, Laura.
just a quick question for Tammy, and that is if she has a sense of when they will be getting the testing supplies from the state. Is that something that's known and there's communication on, or is it something that it's unknown and there's not communication on?
Maybe I can jump in, Tammy. Would that be okay?
I would love it.
Sure. So we have completed all the paperwork for the CLIA waiver. We have a temporary CLIA number that allows us to participate in Test to Stay. And so we have done all we can at this point, and we are just waiting for the next stages of deployment. So the state is gathering their antigen tests and getting prepared to send them out. But as you pointed out, Laura, we don't have a date certain when that's going to happen. But the state has been very responsive when we are trying to get set up, but I do not have an exact date. As Tammy mentioned earlier, I don't foresee doing the Test to Stay program until after Thanksgiving for a couple reasons. One is we want to ramp everything up. We don't want to do it without integrity, and we want to get prepared. So I meet weekly with all of our school nurses from around the WCSU because we all partner together and work together during this time. But the state has been supportive, and I just don't know exactly when we will get our stuff.
So, thank you, Bill. I will be deeply interested in how timely it feels like that is coming or it is not. Noting that we are going into the holiday season, that there's a lot of stress in our system. I would just encourage if the administration needs any support, that we not wait, happy to try and assist if necessary, sooner rather than later.
I appreciate that very much. Tammy and Matt are very communicative with me and with the nurses that are helping out. So I don't feel like there will be any delay on our end, but if I do feel like we need some assistance, I will make sure that I keep that communication line open.
I think, Laura, you're all set then?
Thanks, Richard.
You've got a great career as a ventriloquist. You did all that talking, your lips never moved once on TV. That was really good. Waiting study task force update. Mark and Laura, you guys want to talk about that one?
Laura, you have any updates?
Watching the task force has had a couple of delays with releasing some expected analysis that they were expecting. It's been a little tricky to see and understand exactly where the task force is going. Some of the tea leaves have been somewhat concerning. I sent and posted a 3-page public comment on the JFO site for the last hearing. I have heard from both of the chairs and other committee members some assurances. So it's kind of it's pretty time. So in order for the weights to be implemented this year, or that process to be implemented, I believe politically it's impossible to do that without also making considerations for overweighted districts. And thus far, I have not seen any accommodations or planning for that. No direct accommodations or planning for that. So we shall see. And I think we hopefully will know some more next time we meet. And I think that is all I have to say. Except good job, Richard, and also to Scott Salloway. Good job.
Thank you.
Your testimony. Thank you.
And I sent that to everybody just now. I thought I'd sent it last week, but when I was looking for Mark's thing, I found that I hadn't. Mark, you all set, sir?
Just a couple of really quick things. Laura got it in there a little fast. So thank you, Rich, and Scott. Thank you, Rich, for speaking up on behalf of our district. And the task force meets again on Wednesday. Yeah, 2 days from now. And we are hoping to get some more information on the direction that they are going at that time.
Mark, is that going to interfere with the Wyndham Central meeting again?
During the day.
Oh, it's during the day?
Yep.
No, if it was, then we would, because we should talk about who's going to go to Wyndham Central too. So, but thank you, Mark.
Yeah, Wyndham Central is virtual, so.
No, I understand that, but last time we only had 2, so, cool. Anybody else on the waiting study? I'm sorry.
Just in the cabinet report that went out today to all the board members, at the very end of that cabinet report is the testimony that I am giving on Wednesday at the task force. I was specifically asked to testify based on the excess spending threshold. So I included a copy of my written testimony that I'll be giving at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Okay, I see nobody jumping up and down. So, next bill, next steps, long-term planning research project, a community feedback survey review.
So, even though we have more time, because we thought about possibly doing this in the spring, because it was fresh in my mind after our last meeting, I just wanted to take a stab so that I could get some board feedback on both kind of the introduction to give to the community, as well as the actual survey itself that would be used to collect feedback. So I produced this quick little one-pager, had a couple hyperlinks, one for the scenarios, one for the survey, oh, and a third one for some music to listen to while you reviewed the document. I only got feedback from Matt, but he enjoyed it, so that was good. So I'm really just looking for feedback from the board about whether this is kind of what you were thinking about. Again, these decisions don't need to be made tonight, but I wanted to get it in your hands so you could think about it. We can put it on another agenda later. But I figured since it was fresh in your guys' mind from our last meeting, I wanted to make sure I got something concrete out to you.
Go ahead, Mark.
So Bill, my only comment would be, I think we should have more closed-end questions, ADEF type things, so we can get some metrics from, versus everything being, paragraph form.
So like a multiple choice.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good feedback.
And I did not listen to the music, I apologize.
What was the music?
It's there for you when you are ready.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you. You have to listen.
Matt, tell me what the music
It's
is.
really good. You won't be disappointed.
Okay.
It's a great new band.
Laura or Kate, any comments, Kate? I see you there. Hi, Kate. She moved.
So just reading through it really quickly, like when you say scenario 2 is paid high school tuition, should we give it, are we going to make the assumption that the survey takers are going to have base knowledge, or should we give more of a little bit like of an introduction for each question? Like,
Yeah, no, I could absolutely do that. That's why I wanted you guys to review that. So more of like, not only giving them the whole list of all the hypothetical scenarios, but in each question, kind of fleshing it out a little bit more so you can take it with knowledge.
yeah, because I would kind of make the assumption that, a decent percentage of people who take the survey may not have been aware of all the things going on. So just making sure that each question, kind of gives the full background of folks.
Okay, thank you.
So for like what we currently do, like in the tuition question, would say something like currently there's school choice and the district pays of annually voted on amount for tuition that's above the statewide average, which is the default, and then ask the question, what do you think? Or is that what you're looking for, Kate?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And actually, if you can include, you'd be like, in 2021, the statewide average was X. The sending school of Blue and Gray was Y, and the burn rate was Z. So, give them all the data points too. I don't know. Is that too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Laura, when we did our meeting in May, and people were like, oh, wait, we're talking about a $90 difference between the Leland and Gray rate versus the Burton rate. Oh, okay. That's not a big deal. So, I don't know.
It changes year to year too.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying, qualify it with, in 2021, this is what it was. And that's not saying in the future it will always be that, but I'm just giving them an example.
So, if you guys are okay with it, let me work with Bill on that, and we'll put something together to show at the next meeting, before the next meeting, and then we can make comments from there. Is that okay? We'll get it out ahead of time.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mark. Yep.
I just say if you're going to include any numbers, you need to include it for all of our sending schools, or at least all the public sending schools.
Yeah, see, and again, that's why let us play with it a little bit, because you don't want to make it the question so big that people, don't. I remember reading one time about pamphlets. You only want to have X number of words in a pamphlet, because if you have more, people aren't going to really read them. So let's just play with it, Mark, and then we can all look at it and see what we all think, and then we'll go from there. Let us take the first stab at it, if that's okay. Everybody good? Mark, okay with that?
Yep, less is more.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't see anybody, we've lost people? Oh. Dale Sherman, I see you joined us. We went by, members of the public. Do you have any public comment? No, okay. If you have anything, just let us know. So River Valley Learning Academy for Thanksgiving break update. Matt, you or Tammy?
We're ready. Tammy,
Okay.
do you want to go first, or would you like me to start?
You can go for it now, and I can join in whenever.
All right, I'll do the review. So we sent out the survey that we discussed.
Okay.
So we would try to find out some information from our families about what they were interested in. We did send it out a couple of times at each building. We got 18 responses with a good mix of grades represented, with the most represented being 3rd and 4th grade. Those were the families that returned the most responses.
From both schools or?
From both schools combined, yeah. 83% of the respondents were from Wardsboro. The rest were from Dover. 5 of them said yes, 6 said maybe, and 7 said no thank you. I will say that there were some wonderful comments left and great support for the idea, even though some, not all the families would participate. They thought it was a valiant effort. 70% said they would prefer a full day. 30% said they would prefer a half day. That was a piece of information we want to collect. Tammy and I processed through in conversation last week and a little bit more today. Tammy, would you like to give the results?
Sure. So we felt that based on the responses that we should not offer it at this time. We didn't feel that there was enough interest to proceed with an in-person academy, but that students may use online resources that are currently available through like the Google Classrooms for any additional activities and school tasks to keep their skills sharp during the vacation times. We also felt that putting it out to teachers, they really felt that they, especially this year, needed a break. Nobody was interested in actually helping us out during those weeks. And that also, it's a good time for our buildings to get deeply cleaned and get some maintenance that can't be done during the time that school is in session.
Okay, so thank you guys. I appreciate that. So what does that mean though for the Christmas break academy? Did that cover that too, or is this specific to Thanksgiving?
So we asked for all the breaks, and we got data from all the breaks, and it looked pretty much like the people that responded yes would participate in all the breaks, and the people that responded no would also not participate in all the breaks. That's what we could glean from the data that we.
Okay, so we put it out there. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be something, and if families do need extra help, there would be something though that can be set up and sent home. It just wouldn't be alive.
Right, and actually it was one of the parents' suggestions that she said, there's already a lot of resources in the Google Classrooms online for students that they can get hold of on their own if they want their kids to have extra time.
Okay. So is there any questions? Go ahead, Jen.
Just a quick question. Is there a plan, principals, to have the kids take their laptops home over the break? Or is that going to be on a request-only basis? What are your thoughts there for our students?
Tammy, I don't mind jumping in, give you a second, but we don't send them home on a regular basis during vacations. There may be certain classes where there's some work that a kid needs to do and they'll bring a computer home to get caught up or something, but there generally is not a large amount of work assigned over vacations.
Right, I don't need for assigned work, but as we talked about, there are so many resources available in the Google Classroom, kind of getting a sense of how many of our students do or do not have their own laptop to access, if this might be helpful. So if it's not something that we do, can we make that an offer to our student body to be able to access the additional information on their own?
I would say absolutely yes. Anybody that ever needs to borrow their school-assigned computer, They can take it home pretty much any time. So we'll encourage, and Tammy, I don't want to speak for you, but we can encourage the families to let us know or let their classroom teacher know if they need to take a computer home over the vacation to access any of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, just with the understanding that it's being used for school purposes.
So I can't go bet on the football games over, the soccer games over vacation?
Well, and they've all signed their technology use policies, so they would still adhere even though it is a non-assigned factor.
Correct.
And students that have special requirements for computers, usually that's in their plan, so that if they need to take them home, they will, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any, Mark or Kate or Laura, any other questions or thoughts?
No, I appreciate the process, thank you.
I think it was a really good process to see if there was need out there, and so I'm actually kind of glad to see there isn't a huge need. That actually makes me feel really good. So, okay, then, you guys are going so fast here. We have financials, so, did that get sent to everybody?
Digitally.
So everybody should have digitally seen the financials. In case you're wondering, it's $854,111.35 that we're authorizing, which is, wow, big number. A lot of tuition in there. There's a lot of materials, some reimbursement. Did anybody have any questions for reviewing it? I know it's a little difficult to review it digitally, so we had some printed copies here. Anybody wants to see it, but, any questions, any thoughts? Go ahead, Mark.
To say it was an unbelievable amount of material which I could not get through, so I will abstain on any vote.
Okay, Chad, you good?
No?
Laura or Kate? Kate's good. She's giving me the thumbs up. Laura?
Good.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the financials in the amount of $854,111.35 and authorize Chad and I to sign on behalf of the board?
So moved.
Is there a second? Kate? Thank you, Kate. Seconds it. I'm going to just, Mark threw down the gauntlet, but say he's going to abstain, so let's just do the roll call vote. Mark, how do you vote?
I abstain.
Kate?
I approve.
Laura?
Yes.
Chad?
Approved?
Okay, so there's 3 yeses and 1 abstention. The chair goes with the majority, so there are 4 aye votes, so it's enough to carry the motion. So you guys just spent $854,111.35 in probably 30 seconds. Congratulations. Soon you can all be federal senators and congressmen and stuff like that.
Would you take one more second and run down the vote again?
It was, so Mark abstained, Kate voted aye, Laura voted aye, Chad voted aye, the chair's vote goes with the majority, so there's 4 ayes and 1 abstention, so the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. So Dwight, he wasn't sure if he was going to get here. We're going to be discussing budget stuff for Wyndham Central on Wednesday night. And Mark and I and Dwight are the 3 members. So I would just like to, if Dwight is not available, I don't know how his emergency tonight's going to come out. Chad did join us last time. So I don't know if anybody would like to maybe approve Chad to represent us if Dwight can't make it, since we're not sure about that.
You want a motion, Mr. Chair?
I would love a motion, Ms. Sebelia.
So moved.
Okay, the lady from Goose City made a motion that Chad could represent River Valleys at the Wyndham Central meeting if Dwight is unable to attend. Do I have a second to that?
Kate is second.
Thank you, Kate. Seconds. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 It appears as though the ayes have it unanimously. It's unanimous ayes, so the motion carries. Policy. So we have only 3 tonight. So Mark or Kate, I'm going to turn it over to you guys to run us through these.
All right, all 3 of these we voted last meeting to warn. So assuming that they have been posted and warned.
Matt shaking his head yes.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes, Matt and Bill both gave their thumbs up and head shakes that they've been posted.
Excellent. So we have B2 volunteers and work study students, of which there were minimal changes, but the committee did decide to add volunteers to the very end of the policy. D5 animal dissection. There are just some footnotes that should have not been in the previously approved policy, and the same thing for D6 class size policy. So I would move that we adopt B2, D5, and D6.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Second that.
Well, Chad beat you to it. Sorry, Kate. So we have a motion and a second to adopt policy B2, D5, and D6. Is there any discussion? I hear none, so all those in favor, please signify so by saying aye.
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 It appears as though it's a unanimous decision. All in favor? It is unanimous. So we can, we've adopted B2 volunteers and work study, D5 animal dissection, D6 class size policy. Peter, do you have all those okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Peter.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I really hate, yes.
Just as long as we're on policies, can I just make a quick announcement?
Oh, sure, go ahead, dude.
The policy committee is going to be meeting Friday, November 12th at 9 a.m. via Zoom. And we will be skipping our December meeting this year.
How come?
As Kate's work commitments are a little more intense during the fourth quarter,
Oh.
I will be.
I was going to say we could party, but
I was gonna say, that's what I thought. You guys might be having a party and forgot to invite the rest of us, but. Okay, thank you, Mark. If there's no other old business, Kate, Laura, Mark, you guys all set?
All set.
Chad?
All set.
Okay, our next meeting is November 15th. We're still gonna meet at the town hall in Dover until we hear from Bill and Tammy that they'd like to resume meetings in their schools. Hopefully maybe we'll get through winter break we'll get through Christmas break and then we'll see how it stands, how comfortable you guys and the staff feel. We are meeting on Wednesday night at 7 for Wyndham Central. That's remote, but there will also be a live meeting at the Dover School because we do have to have a live location. And Chad from the TV place is going to bring pizza, but it may be from 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if we want to eat it. I do need an executive session for personnel, if I could get that motion, and then,
so moved.
thank you, Mark. Second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Laura. So we have a motion and a second. Is all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
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 Wow, Laura's got some echo. Okay, give us 1 second, folks. We should be about 5 minutes maybe, and then we'll come back to you live. Okay, so at 7:07, by unanimous consent, we came out of executive session, and we are in agreement with, to give the administration the ability to move forward to discuss a contract for a position to be brought forth to the board no later than the next regularly scheduled meeting. If it becomes more urgent, then they're gonna let the chair know and we'll set up either an emergency meeting or we'll warn a meeting for the 48 hours we're required to go. That's all I have on the agenda. Our next meeting's November 15th, like we said here. We do have the meeting Wednesday night. I did text Dwight while we were in executive session, and he does say he can make Wednesday night, but Chad, if not, if you can still come.
Sure.
But we only get 3 people who get to vote.
Right.
I'm so impressed that you were texting.
Pardon?
She's
I
impressed.
said, I'm so impressed that you were texting.
Yeah, it was on my stupid phone. Peter, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So I just didn't get, I was confused by that. In agreement to give the administration a what?
Peter, it was emailed or sent to you by Bill. Check
Oh,
your
good,
email.
thank you.
Okay, sir?
Never mind.
Nope, no problem. Dale Sherman, last chance. Did you have anything as a public since you didn't get in time for public? And if not, we're gonna adjourn.
I do not, and I didn't answer before because I was driving.
No, that's fine. I don't want, I mean, you make the effort to come to the meeting. I didn't want, if you had something, I didn't want to like exclude you. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, thanks.
Okay, so can I hear that motion? Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Just so everybody knows, if you don't already, VSBA's annual business meeting and conference is this Thursday and Friday. It's not too late to register on their website.
Okay, hang on, because Chad, that brought a thought up to Chad.
Do we want to just remind folks about the ARPA meeting?
About the what?
The ARPA meeting Thursday? Public service message?
I don't know what that is.
The American Recovery Plan spending, that was supposed to be this Thursday, correct?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
That's for Wardsboro, I thought.
I think the town of Wardsboro is having something on ESSER funds or something like that. Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
It's on the municipal funds, you guys,
Okay.
that all the towns are getting. I think that's what Chad's talking about.
Okay, no,
So I
that's,
didn't know if we had overlap with us.
no, our funds are different for
Okay.
the school. Okay, so that's why I was confused, so thank you. Okay,
It's a great reminder.
so Thursday, I think, in Wardsboro, but look I know it was in the Bucketville News, I think.
I didn't read it, but you're probably right.
Okay, so guys, what's the next motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Chad. Hey, so folks, we'll see. Thank you, Kate Seconds. We'll see you all Wednesday. Those of you that can make it, and in 2 weeks, be there, be square. But make sure you get the stuff done for Mark by the end of the week, so Mark and Kate can get it to us. Okay?
Thanks, everybody. Good night.